Hey, UNESCO has just declared Bernie Sanders as the best sitting senator of United States.
The what?
Yeah, Thanos is the runner-up. Where did you read this? WhatsApp? Where else do you get your facts from? Next one, the Indian government can impose a ban on all forms of cryptocurrency, aims to get its own. Oh, so they're planning to get their own cryptocurrency, like China. Yeah, but what is cryptocurrency? You don't know what cryptocurrency is? Hey Kev, this is gonna be fun. You don't know what it means either? Hop on in. Let's perform a small activity. You, I, and Kevin go to a mall for shopping. In the mall, we are short of $10. You give $5 to us. In return, we draft a document which says that we shall pay you $10 in 5 days. Then, we hand this document over to you. Now, the control of our transaction resides with you and you only. Centralized currency is somewhat similar, where the currency is controlled by a central authority like a bank or the government. For example, a dollar. So, what's the problem with centralized currency? It's safe, it's efficient, but it's not reliable. Today, this note is valued only because the bank says so. Without their approval, this is nothing but paper. By giving the control of our money to the bank, we allow the bank to play with it. It uses our money to lend loans to people, which is the root cause of all problems. Through corruption, people manage to escape without repaying the loan, which causes financial damage to the bank. To save these banks from going bankrupt, the government provides them with a bailout package, which is a waste of taxpayers' money. People work hard for their money, but the ones who control it are corrupt, fraud, and dodgy. In 2008, a guy named Satoshi Nakamoto was fed up by these scams and proposed the idea of cryptocurrency. He defined cryptocurrency as a version of peer-to-peer electronic cash which allows payments to be sent from one party to another party without going through a financial institution. What? Calm down, I'll explain. What he meant was that cryptocurrency is not made up of real coins or real notes. Instead of that, it is a digital form of money which is not controlled by a central institution. Okay, but then who controls cryptocurrency? Good question. Let's go back to our activity. This time, instead of one copy, we make 3 copies of the document and each of us gets one. So, instead of giving the control of our transaction into one body, we divide it, or more specifically, decentralized. Cryptocurrency is decentralized as well. That means not a single authority, but rather a network of computers all over the globe controls its transactions. Okay, so all transactions made by these cryptocurrencies are stored in a network of computers, right? No. Each cryptocurrency has its own network. Like Bitcoin has its own network, Dogecoin has its own network, Monero has its own network. They don't share the same network. Don't be mistaken. Cryptocurrency is not a currency. It's a category of currency. Like paper note is a category and dollar is a currency. Similarly, cryptocurrency is a category and Bitcoin, Monero, etc. are its currencies. But what is the value of cryptocurrency? For example, Bitcoin. The price of one Bitcoin as of 12th February is approximately $48,000. Whoa, why is it so expensive? Because it is completely dependent on market forces. If its demand goes up, its price goes up, and vice versa. During the pandemic, the usage of physical money was nil, so people drifted more towards a digital form of money. Another reason for its value is its limited supply. Today, jewelry has its value only because it is made up of metals whose supply is limited. Cryptocurrency's supply is limited as well. For example, there can only be 21 million bitcoins, which will all be mined by 2040. Mine? Yes, mining is a popular method by which cryptocurrencies are obtained. Let's take Bitcoin for example. There are around 10,000 computers in the Bitcoin network. These computers are called nodes. The nodes where mining happens are called miners. These miners have a public account called a ledger. Suppose I want to transfer 5 Bitcoins in your account. The job of these miners is to verify a transaction. To verify it, they need to solve a complicated maths equation, but they don't do it manually using pen and paper. Instead of that, they use supercomputers with high processing powers to do it. The first computer to solve the equation correctly gets a few bitcoins in reward. The process of generating these new bitcoins is called mining. After verifying a transaction, the computer adds its signature at the end. This signature is called the proof of work. A transaction page is created which contains the transaction, the proof of work, and a copy of the previous transaction. This page is called a block. Every time a Bitcoin transaction takes place, a new block is created, and this block is linked with the previous blocks. And the system or the technology where all these blocks are stored in a decentralized form is called blockchain. Okay, so a blockchain is decentralized, which means all the records are stored over a network of computers, right? Yep. So then how does it solve the problem of corruption and fraud that you mentioned earlier? It solves the problem by removing the middlemen from the transaction. Let's suppose the government released a new scheme under which it provides $10,000 to schools in rural areas, but due to corrupt middle officers, it hardly receives $2,000 a month. With the help of blockchain, the school can directly receive money from the government, removing the middle officers in a peer-to-peer connection. There are two main uses of cryptocurrency. First is the use as an alternate currency, and second as an investment. First, let's talk about alternate currency. Some people want to use cryptocurrency as an alternate to everyday currencies like dollar, rupee, euro, etc. However, using cryptocurrency as a mode of exchange is not yet practically possible, but there is progress. However, the main use of cryptocurrency is not a mode of exchange. Its main use is investment, which is our second topic. Investment means use of cryptocurrency as a store of value. As the value of cryptocurrency is variable, people invest in cryptocurrency hoping to receive a higher amount in the future. For example, people don't use gold in their day-to-day transaction. Instead of that, they buy gold and keep it in a bank for safekeeping. They hope to receive a higher price of gold in the future because the price of gold keeps rising. This is called investment. People do the same with bitcoins. That's why Bitcoin is known as digital gold. Now, let's take a look at some positives and negatives of cryptocurrency. Number 1, positives. Secure and decentralized transaction. Provides anonymity by using peer-to-peer connection. Elimination of bank fees. In some cases, banks can apply heavy fees on your transaction. However, transferring money with bitcoins or any other cryptocurrency requires no transfer fees. Economical cross-country transfers. Transaction of cryptocurrencies are faster than that of banks and are free of custom duties. And the last point, it is an ideal investment for daring investors due to its high returns. Now, some negatives are: number 1, volatile value. Its value rises and drops promptly. For example, the value of Bitcoin literally doubled from December 2020 to January 2021. Second, it is not practically acceptable in day-to-day life. You can't buy groceries with Bitcoins now, can you? Number 3, slow transactions. Yeah, crypto transactions are relatively slower. For example, an average Bitcoin transaction takes at least 10 minutes. Number 4, crypto anonymity is misused for illegal activities. People use it to buy drugs, evade tax, and all sort of stuff. And also, it is difficult for LEAs to track these transactions. And last, unawareness amongst people leads to recurrent cases of fraud. As a conclusion, we can say that crypto is a revolutionary form of money which solves major economical and social problems. However, technical issues and unawareness obstructs the use of cryptocurrency as an alternate currency, and its volatile value restrains people from investing in it. But looking at the rapid digitalization of the world, we can be sure that people will prefer digital money, including cryptocurrency, over physical money. Thus, the future for cryptocurrencies is certainly uncertain, but we can be sure that whatever impact it will have, it would be pretty big. Wow, cryptocurrency was a tough topic to understand, but you guys made it simple. Share this video with a friend to help them understand what cryptocurrency really is. On that note, that was it from us this time. You'll see us in the next video. Until then, bye.